Hello and welcome to Synergy Tips brought to you by tice-it. In today's video, we'll show you how Exact RPA brings your ERP transactions to life with Synergy workflow requests. To add Synergy workflow to your ERP data, we'll show you how in 3 steps. First, we'll show you how to add columns for Synergy workflow into your existing RPA views. Second, you'll learn how to query and connect Synergy workflow to your ERP data. And third, you'll see the end result, bringing your ERP transactions to life. Before we start adding columns to your RPA view, let's show you what the end result will look like. Here's an RPA view that we have created. It's a delivery schedule based on our ERP sales order data. It includes information such as the order number, the customer who you are selling to, and order dates to let your organization know the order is ready to ship. The goal, however, is to make this RPA view interactive with Synergy workflow and displaying that workflow on the view. Here's how this is done. First, click the wrench in the top right corner of your RPA view to go into edit mode. Now that we're in edit mode of the RPA view, let's start by adding some special columns to our view. You'll see that we're about to add 5 columns to the existing RPA view. Leave each column blank as we will add intelligence to each in a moment. For this demonstration, we will be adding columns for request ID, request remark, follow-up, and account ID. Once we've added the fields, click the Save and Edit Column button at the top of the screen. In the RPA column editor, let's edit the 5 columns you just added. First is the follow-up field. This field will create a workflow request on your ERP data. Note, the hyperlink field creates a workflow request in your Synergy environment. Take a moment to pause this video and copy the hyperlink syntax to pre-populate a new workflow request. Next, add an image file to the image field. In this example, we'll add the Add SVG icon displaying as a plus button. Let's now look at the Request ID column. The Request ID field will be used to query the Absences table, which is the workflow requests table in Synergy. We will retrieve the unique identifier from the table so we can use it in another one of our created columns. Make this field hidden as it will be used for reference only. Finally, look at the query at the bottom. We are querying the Absences table, filtering down workflow request types on a specific order number. Take a moment to pause the video to capture the syntax used in this query. Now let's move on to the Request column. The Request column will display the workflow request number, and it will be hyperlinkable, allowing end users to click and open the newly created request. Unlike the Request ID field, we will make the Request field visible on the RPA view. In the hyperlink value, make special note of the syntax used to open the request associated with this ERP transaction. And finally, the Query field. We are retrieving the HID field, otherwise known as the Workflow Request Number field. Take a moment to copy the syntax before moving on to the Remark column. The Remark field is far less involved than the previous fields. We will be displaying the remarks of the request linked to our ERP data. You'll note that the field is visible. And finally, the query at the bottom. We are retrieving the request comments field of the request number. Before going to the account ID, take a moment to copy the syntax used in this query. In this second to last column, the account ID will be retrieved so we can use it in our parameters. The account ID is a GUID, so it is not meant to be visible for end users on the RPA view. And in the query, take a moment to copy the syntax being used. And now on to our final column, the ID field. The ID field will also be used to pass parameters into our workflow request. Just like the account ID, the ID is also a GUID, so it is not meant to be visible. As in past examples, take a moment to copy the syntax used in the query of the ID field. Once you have done this, click Save at the top left corner of your screen and then click the Save and Test View button to view your end result. You can now interact on your ERP transactions. As you can see, the data on the left is coming from your ERP database, and the data on the right is coming from your newly linked Synergy workflow requests on your ERP data. Let's see it in action by clicking on the First Order Follow-up button. You'll note that as we are creating a new request, the request has been pre-populated with information from our special fields, such as sales order number and account ID. Let's take a moment to fill in some notes about this order that could be useful to our team members. We'll let Kelly know that our customer requires this order to be shipped complete with all line items. Once we're done making our notes to notify our team members, click Create. And there you have it! Your very own Synergy workflow connected to your ERP transactions, bringing your business data to life. Use this example as a template for every area of your business to improve operational efficiency and improved collaboration. We hope you found this Synergy tip useful. With over 60 years of combined experience in improving business operations, we are happy to be your trusted Exact software service provider. Want to learn more? Reach out at tice-it.com. That's tice-it.com.